A blank canvas for downtown Rockford. Leaders celebrate a $1 million federal grant they claim cleans a historic building and sparks downtown development. What's a home for soldiers and musical acts like Fleetwood Mac, the former Illinois National Guard Armory has sat empty since 2006. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley finds what's next as the site awaits a makeover.
The Armory is a brownfield, an area where hazardous substances may complicate redevelopment, but a federal program hopes to clear the way for communities to safely reuse buildings.
Home to my first illegal beer I've ever had, which is here at the Armory, so thank you to St. Patrick's Day.
A historic building waiting for its next chapter.
The activities will include an emergency roof repair and stabilization. Very sexy.
For years, the Rockford Area Arts Council wished to revamp the former Illinois National Guard Armory into a cultural center.
What's the big, hairy goal? What could we do that would really be a capstone project in the community for the Arts Council?
The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency could make the project possible thanks to a $1.5 million grant.
We had our fingers crossed because much of the arts and culture funding is really under fire right now.
Funding comes from the EPA's Brownfields program, supporting safe cleanups at contaminated properties.
The Brownfields program is the one that has kind of stayed its course. Reason for that is because it takes eyesores like this and turns them into assets for communities.
Once the Armory is a blank slate, city leaders prepare for more environmental cleanups.
South of downtown, there are several brownfield clusters in there that need to be redeveloped, and the other area that we focused on is the Keith Creek Greenway area.
And for Mayor Tom McNamara, the Armory's return signals he can't brush off in improving Rockford.
We love this place, but we love what it can be, and let's all work together to make it that.
As of now, the environmental cleanup should begin at the start of 2026. The Art Council's timeline expects the project to be complete by the end of 2029.
Thank you, Nathaniel. And the Arts Council believes the final price tag of the project could be around $60 million. That cost depends on the changing price of construction and materials.